host of the Gridiron.
Now, so interesting. Now with Russell Wilson, and obviously you could throw in Jameis Winston. So with Winston and Wilson, right? Is it going to be Carter, Hunter, or Sanders at number 3? Very interesting, right? Does this kind of take, because we got options now. We got some options. If, now I don't know. Nobody's ever going to know what was said in the meetings with Russell Wilson. Did they go, hey, Russ, look, we signed you for 1 year. You said you want to play another 5 years or whatever. Let's see how things go here. Things go well, we'll offer you another contract next season, right? If you I know his wife, she likes to be here. So he might want to be here. He might want to stay here. Right? If things go well, we'll offer you another contract. If you want to play another, grand total, another 4 or 5 years or so, maybe you can be our quarterback for the next few years. So we may not necessarily need a quarterback, right? Jameis Winston, right? We got him for 2 years. I said we can bring, only $21 million for Russell Wilson, right? I said you got Jameis Winston for 2 seasons. Now he can be the backup, right? If he needs to go in and play, he can play. Once again, the thing is, out of every 2 games with Jameis Winston, one of them he's going to throw you into a game, and another one he's going to throw you out of a game. One game he'll throw 4 touchdown passes, and the other one he'll throw 3 interceptions and lose the game. But he'll move the ball. He'll get it flying for you. Ain't no doubt about that. But the thing is that do the Giants, think about maybe I'm going to talk about in our final portion of our program, maybe getting getting a quarterback, but maybe not at number 3 because maybe they don't need a quarterback at number 3. If we have Winston, Wilson, and Sanders, it's like, whew, wow. That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough because Sanders is going to want to get in there. Russell Wilson expects to be the starter, right? And if Jameis Winston is the backup, and he expects to, so that might be a little a pretty tough quarterback room if you got those 3 guys in there. So this might allow the Giants maybe to, the Giants need big time players, right? Especially to help this team. They need players without question. They need guys that plug and play like Malik Neighbors. Wind the frickin' guy up, put him on the field. We'll see you, buddy. We'll see you after 17 games. Go get him, Tiger. That's what the Giants need. They need a Carter. They need a Hunter. They need somebody who can just wind him up, put him on the field. We'll see you at the end of the season. Go get him. Go get him, champ. That's what they need. They need some starters, right? Not starters. Duh. They need some big time players like they got with Malik Neighbors. Okay, they need difference makers. Now they did take a little bit of a step back. Obviously, a couple of years when they took Banks. Your first round when you want your first round pick to come in and do some good things. But the Giants need some difference makers, and if they can go after maybe get a Hunter. You look at a Hunter. It's almost a win-win. Put him on the offense, you put him on the defense. Just think about it, right? If we draft, if he's there, you don't even know he's going to be there, but guaranteed, almost, from what I hear. Now, whatever it's worth, who knows? But it sounds like Ward might be going number 1. Sounds like it, right? So if that's the case, right, guaranteed 2 of the 3 will be there: Sanders, Hunter, or Carter, right? So if you're not enamored with Sanders, right, Hunter or Carter is going to be there, guaranteed. Now, so if somehow Hunter falls to us at number 3, just think about it. You're getting a twofer, I mean, you might have to let it play out. What side of the ball is he going to play on most of the time? Is he going to be on the defensive side? Is he going to be on the offensive side? Is he going to put, if you're going to make it 50-50, let him get whatever, 25 snaps on defense, 25 snaps on offense. Possibility. I mean, if you want to go 4 wide, right? Or maybe put him in instead of maybe pull Slate now for a few plays, put him in. You got to go 4 wide, put him in there on offense for 25 plays, put him for 25 plays on defense. Like if you're going to put say, I don't know, whatever, a dime package in there, something like that. If you want 4 cornerbacks on the field, right? You get 2 safeties and 4 cornerbacks, right? You put him in there for 25 snaps, right? Let him play. And that way, if Banks doesn't work out, and if you don't keep Banks around after 4 seasons, now you got a Debo, you got Phillips, and you got Hunter. I mean, right, and then you got Holland, and you got Newman as your safeties. Nice. Or as I said, I mean, we need somebody on the island. We need more threats. Obviously, you don't be a rocket scientist to figure this out, but the more threats on offense you have, obviously, the better. We got Malik, right? But can we get somebody else in there? Man, that would be huge. I said, let's not forget about Carter, right? You can never have too many edge rushers, never, right? I mean, if Kayvon gets injured, if Burns gets injured, or one of those guys gets tired, need to come out, you got Golston, but you got Carter in there, You talk about a NASCAR package. Wow. If you have Sexy Dexy in there and you got Kayvon, you got Burns, you put Carter in. Whoo, Lord child. Mm-hmm. That's a nice NASCAR package right there. I mean, that's what the Giants need. They need big time players, and their 2nd round pick. Get somebody else, plug and play. Right? That's what they need. Let's see. Let's see. We kind of, oh, we are there. Oh, my bad. All right. Okay. So the Giants signing of Russell Wilson changes the Shedeur Sanders NFL draft outlook. Yes, it does. And also, don't draft a quarterback first. Giants let it ride with Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston. Giants, at very least, will be more entertaining in 2025. However, far he might have fallen from his peak. Russell Wilson can still win games with a decent roster around him, and he has demonstrated that last year. Jameis Winston will be a media darling, providing midweek sound bites and game day viral moments. If pressed into action, we know he can heave a touchdown, an interception or 2. You got that right. For those reasons alone, the Giants' decision-making this week makes sense. The brain trust of General Manager Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll signed Wilson to a 2-year, $8 million deal over the weekend. They followed that up, obviously, with signing Wilson to a 1-year deal, $21 million, $10.5 million of it's guaranteed. You don't need to be an NFL executive to know the Giants are covering themselves if a quarterback prospect doesn't fall to them at number 3 overall in next month's draft. But what happens if these signings take them out of the top 5 quarterback sweepstakes entirely? With one exception, the opportunity to draft Cam Ward, they should. So I don't know if Cam Ward has fallen to him number 3. But that's what I find myself thinking in the wake of these decisions as NFL clubs begin to leave the free agency behind and focus on the draft. Don't get me wrong, I'm not ready to advocate that the Giants are now contenders with these veteran signal callers on the roster. Wilson's limitations were on display as the Steelers sputtered 5 straight losses and another wild card exit last season. Winston's career interception rate is an alarming 3.5%. Still, it's not hard to imagine the Giants being an improved team in 2025. Wilson's performance in Pittsburgh might not have been inspiring, but 10 wins is a world away from what we've seen in New York recently. 10 wins in New York would buy Shane and Dable another year of job security. You got that right. Giving them time to give the quarterback dilemma a more long-term answer. And that's the most pressing issue in New York, isn't it? The seats in the Giants' front office are piping hot, judging their record from being 9-25 over the past 2 seasons. Not to mention owner John Mara's blunt attitude about where things stand. This is a team that needs to flirt with success or relevance at least, if it's going to avoid yet another overhaul in 2026. Despite all of that, half of the NFL community will expect the Giants to be in the mix for a quarterback with that number 3 overall pick. But whoever wrote this article says, I don't buy that. It makes sense. Not this year. At this point in the draft cycle, I'm buying what's being sold about Ward. If it feels like a near lock that Ward is going to go number 1 overall 1 month from now. And I don't think Tennessee is going to trade out of that pick. First overall selections don't come around often, and Ward is good enough to take a chance on, even if he's not quite the same caliber of quarterback prospect we've seen taken in that spot recently. But that obviously complicates things for the Giants. The Browns sitting above them with the pick number 2 are equally desperate for a quarterback and could take Shedeur Sanders right in front of them. Or even if Sanders falls to the Giants' laps, that presents an agonizing decision. Sanders is a first-round talent and a clear-cut second-best option in the quarterback class. He's also universally regarded as a lesser pure prospect than Penn State's Abdul Carter and his Colorado teammate Travis Hunter, despite playing the more valuable position. New York wouldn't be the first team to reach for a lesser prospect at a more important position, but I just don't think it's necessary in 2025. Not with a player of that caliber, potentially 2 of them available. Giants roster is better than many might admit. The defensive front is strong, especially when Dexter Lawrence is healthy. The additions of Paulson and Dabo and Javon Holland should help the back end. Malik Neighbors is a superstar in the making, and Tyrone Tracy emerging as a playmaker and running back. The offensive line could be decent if Andrew Thomas actually stays healthy for a full season. That said, it's hard to imagine that is a team that's ready to make a run at the NFC East, much less hang with the conference's elite. If anything, taking a quarterback too quickly helped create the Giants' mess over the past few seasons. The Giants are 32-67-1 since they drafted Daniel Jones, number 6, in 2019, a move that was met with immediate skepticism. Notably, their only good season during that stretch came when Dable arrived in 2022. I'd like to see Dable do something similar if he's going to keep his job beyond 2025. Wilson has his flaws, such as his inability to push the ball downfield, but he has thrown 42 touchdowns the past 2 seasons while taking good care of the ball, which is huge, right? Let's see here. See, the Giants also own picks 34, 65, 99, and 105. In the draft's early going, they could use those slots to solidify the interior of the offensive line and continue to beef up the defense. They could even draft the quarterback of the future with another selection, perhaps Alabama's Jalen Milroe or Louisville's Tyler Shaw. Shaw? I believe it is Shaw. Could be their guy, the number 34. Point being, it doesn't have to happen with the number 3 overall pick, and it doesn't have to stop them from being competitive with a veteran quarterback, whether it's Wilson or Winston. Let's be honest, both might get their chance to start before it's all said and done. But let Shane prove his team-building acumen next month, and let Dable prove his coaching chops in the fall. The quarterback issue can be solved in 2026 with what's expected to be a stronger crop of prospects. So keep that in mind. For now, let the focus be on building a stronger overall team, which now means leaning on Russell Wilson and Jameis Winston in 2025. Now, the thing is, right, I said that they need, I mean, if he does another really good job, right, we got 5 picks in the top 105. If those the 1 second-round pick, we have the 2 third-round picks, and we have the 4th-round pick. If he knocks it out of the park with those 4 picks, okay, I can maybe see maybe if Sanders falls to us at 3, right? The thing is that, Sanders is not going to help us win in 2025, right? He might certainly get some excitement going, but he's not going to help us in 2025. What would help us in 2025 would be getting Carter or Hunter, one of those plug and play guys. I mean, you find if Bowen can't find a spot for Carter, well, we'll see you later, Bowen. We'll get somebody else in here who can, right? If Hunter falls to us at number 3, you put the guy in the offense, you put him on the defense, either or both. I mean, that's what the Giants need. That's what's going to really, right now, this season, that's what's going to help them get some extra wins. A superstar, without question. So I said, I don't want to say guaranteed, but, because, stranger things can happen. Hunter could go 1, Carter could go 2, and all of a sudden the Giants are like, oh my God, we got our 2 quarterbacks. You know what I mean? So then maybe you take Ward. I can see that. If you go to PFF, I mean, they have Shedeur Sanders is like, I can't remember. I think he's like the 30-something or 40-something ranked player coming out in the draft. There's so many guys ranked above him, according to PFF, right? So might be a bit of a reach to take Sanders. But as I said, if we take Sanders, he's not going to help Shane and Dable this season. He's not going to happen. And we need a superstar. We put in there. And I said, if the Titans take Ward at number 1, which it just sounds like that might wind up happening, you're guaranteed the Giants, right, to have either Carter or Hunter fall to your lap at number 3. And I think, for me anyway, I think that would be the best thing. Take one of those guys. I mean, I said that's what they certainly need that.